If you love colourful cooking, then you're going to love this rainbow layered cake by Nyam Nyam. We're going to show you in some easy steps how to bake one. Absolutely perfect for birthday parties. All you need is butter, sugar, eggs, food colouring and some self-raising flour. So let's get started. Start by mixing 750 grams of butter with an equal amount of caster sugar. Use an electric whisk for ease. Crack in 9 eggs. Whisk them in. You can do this one by one. And add 750 grams of self-raising flour. Then mix it all together till it's perfectly combined. In 6 separate containers, add 6 different food dyes and a spoonful of milk to each one. Mix them up and then add them to your cake dough. One by one in a floured cake tin, you can bake them in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes at 170 degrees. Take them out one by one, slice off the top and around the edge to tidy it up, and you have a very nice neat circle of varying colours. Next, you can stick them on one by one with buttercream icing in between each colourful layer. Now these layers are rather thin, so we want to take special care when handling them. Then cover the entire cake in buttercream icing. Smooth it all out. There. Next we can add on our rainbow icing. This can get very messy, but it's super fun and super colourful. Perfect. Look at that. Why not inject a little bit of colour into your life with this fantastic rainbow cake? Ooh, look at that. Very easy to make. You just need a little bit of patience and lots of food colouring. Starting with our basic vanilla cake and then layering it up with buttercream icing. You'll have to get several cakes here and colour each one with different food colouring. Slice them up and you could layer them as you like with whatever colours you like, with buttercream icing in between each layer. We're using plain white buttercream icing because it looks great between the bright coloured layers. Piping it on with ease. Use your favourite colours, alternate 2 colours if you like. We're going for a different colour for each layer because it looks amazing. A little bit more effort required, but it really does look good. So we're now piping on more buttercream icing to cover the entire outside of the cake, smoothing it over. You can use a spinning plate if you want to make it easier to do that. Also smoothing out the top area. Ready to decorate. Use a round cookie cutter to make an indent of a circle. And then using food piping bags, we're going to just pipe on buttercream icing of varying colours over half of that circle to make a rainbow. Using that indent made with a cookie cutter just helps you to keep a nice, neat semicircle shape, but you don't have to use it. It also helps you to mark out where you want to put your rainbows. And what do we find at the end of our rainbows? Marshmallows, of course! And if you don't want marshmallows, you could use other things. You could use jelly beans, Smarties, take your pick. And then for finishing touches, some buttercream icing on top. Rainbow buttercream icing splodged on top with a pile of marshmallows in the middle. Slice it up and there you have it. An absolutely perfect rainbow cake. Delicious. We love this colourful recipe, absolutely fondalicious. All you need is some butter, of course. That's for your buttercream icing. We're going to whisk that up and add some icing sugar. A bit at a time, whisking away. We're using an electric whisk because that saves a lot of time. Now, we're going to get our vanilla cake and slice it up into 3 segments. You can buy it pre-made from the store or pre-bake it yourself. Now on the first slice, we're going to add a nice dollop of buttercream icing, spreading it out evenly, and we're going to keep doing this with our 3 layers. If you want to be really creative, you can use different colour buttercream icing in between. Couldn't be easier, could it? Just spread it around the edge, tidying it up as we go. Now, put some buttercream icing into separate bowls and add food colouring to make our rainbow. Choose your colours, the brighter the better. Now we're going to put each colour into a food piping bag and snip the end off. And we're going to make little petals using a knife to flatten the ends each time. We get this beautiful rainbow petal effect. The same thing's going to happen on the top of the cake. So as you can see, this cake is absolutely loaded with buttercream icing, so I hope you like it. There you go, and in the centre, a finishing touch with some yellow buttercream icing and a pearl sprinkle. And there you have it, stunning. Now, for our second cake, the same thing applies. We've got our vanilla cake, which we've cut into segments and filled with buttercream icing in between each layer. And all around the edge. This is just a double layered cake, this one. We've got some blue fondant icing, which we're going to roll out on a chopping board, sprinkling some flour as we go so that it doesn't stick. Roll it out nice and big and thin. Now carefully lifting it and placing it over our vanilla sponge cake. I'm going to cut it to the size of the plate to make it easier to fit around the cake. And when we've done that, we can get a cutter to cut off the excess. Beautiful. Now, time to decorate. Some pink fondant icing gets rolled out into a flat sausage shape, and we're going to just slice it into a rectangle and then make a wave effect. Using a bit of water and a brush, we're going to stick that around the edge of our cake. And we've made our pink fondant icing with sugar sprinkles on top. Using some white fondant icing, we can add a further decoration, rolling it into a long thin sausage. Get an ice cream cone and wrap it all the way around. Adding some food colouring, make it nice and golden. And that is our unicorn horn, of course. Adding eyes and ears and a mouth. And there you have it, a beautiful unicorn cake and a flower petal cake. Perfect for any kid's birthday party. You could not get more colourful. Nyam Nyam brings to you a delicious and magical rainbow lava cake, just for you to make at home for your favourite person in the house. The inside of this molten cake is filled with bright, beautiful colours that erupt when you dig in. All you need is some coloured candy melts, butter, white chocolate, eggs, sugar, vanilla extract, flour and whipped cream. So, let's get started. All you need is some coloured candy melts. Melt those in 3 separate bowls, get a plastic sheet and then just drizzle them on one at a time with a spoon, creating a gorgeous, colourful rainbow effect. This is going to decorate your cake later. Put that aside. Meanwhile, get 1/3 cup of butter, mix that with 6 ounces of white chocolate, melt that in a jug and mix 1 egg white with 4 egg yolks in a separate mixing bowl. Once that's all been mixed together, you can add 1/4 cup of sugar and whisk it again. Now we're going to spoon in our melted butter and white chocolate mixture and a little dash of vanilla extract and 1/4 cup of flour. Once that's ready to go, we're going to spoon it into 3 separate bowls ready to colour for our rainbow cake. You can use any colours you like. What are your favourite colours? We're using red. Then we're going to use green. Finally, we're going to use some yellow food colouring, perfect to brighten up any special occasion. Stick a bit of baking paper in the bottom of a buttered oven-proof bowl and start to pour in your coloured mixtures, one at a time, side by side. Beautiful, then we're going to layer it, pouring different colours on top of different colours to make a gorgeous rainbow effect. You can use as many colours as you like. Now stick that in the oven at 200 degrees for just 11 to 12 minutes. It's super fast. Once it's ready, turn it upside down on a plate. Remove the baking paper and splodge some gorgeous whipped cream on top. As much as you like of that. Your candy melts are ready. Crack it in half and stick it on top for a finishing touch. Slice away, and look at that. Gorgeous!